Hello and welcome to my channel here at The Craft of Living. Thank you for stopping by again. I have a little change of course, change of pace, because I can't keep doing unboxings forever. Oh wait, yes I can. And I probably will because it's a joy that I just love. But to switch things up a bit, I wanted to do a Once Upon a Time installment. Now, my goal is to have there be 4 installments for the 4 suits, but don't be surprised if you only ever get one forever and ever, amen. It's just the way things work sometimes. Great intentions, execution, maybe not so much. But today I would like to play with you in doing a Once Upon a Time. Now, my teacher, Bridget Eselmont on Biddy Tarot, suggested we do Once Upon a Time for the suits, and I think it's a great way to kind of get a storyline linking the cards together in your mind. I decided to start with Wands today. It's just the one that came the most naturally to me as I started to weave a story for my son. And just take what resonates and throw the rest. This is my story, my interpretation, and my goofiness. Come along with me for the ride. So, once upon a time. Once upon a time in the land of fairy tale land, where there was castles and huge waves of rolling hills, there lived a shepherd boy. He was out in the shepherd field one day when he was taking care of his animals and his flock and his sheep. And he was just kind of feeling down and listless about life. And man, isn't there anything else for him in this life aside from just this? And when all of a sudden, this glorious hand bursts from the clouds, and he is shocked, and it looks like this hand is holding a club or a stick. He's not sure, but it looks glorified in every single glory you could imagine. The rays of goldenness were shimmering off of that golden stave that he could not believe it. First of all, he was like, never mind the stick. What's up with the hand coming out of the sky? So he was a little bit shocked, and he's like, oh my goodness. And the hand said, here, I shall gift you the gift of will and fire and determination. This shall be your gift to do with as you please, and when you will it, it shall be, and so shall it be. And he was like, oh my gosh, this is the gift of free will? Wow. So he took the staff from his hand, and he was amazed because that staff was like, it lit him up. It was electrifying, and he was amazed at anything he wanted. He wanted the sheep to be in their pens, and it was done. And he found that he didn't want it to be raining, and he wished that while holding the staff, and it was done. And he realized, oh my goodness, I have such great power with this staff. I can do anything. I don't have to be a mere shepherd boy. I could be a king if I wanted to. So with this new knowledge and this gift, because the hand disappeared and it retracted back into the sky at this point, and he was left with just the stick, and he thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with this? I don't have to be a shepherd boy anymore. So he started imagining what his world was going to be like. And he said, wow, well, I'm going to get to my home. I'm going to start thinking about what I want to create. I'm going to think about what I might have to offer the world. And he does that, and he goes and he gets on his best thinking cap, and he starts to wear his nicest clothes because he's wished it at this point. He has this magical staff, and he says, I want threads of red, and I want beautiful clothing. So there, it is done, and he gets it, and it appears. And he's amazed, and he says, I want to do something more with this. I want to give more to the world. What can I do? What can I give? So he starts making plans, and he starts looking out at the horizon over here, and he says, well, I want to go and do this, and I want to tell the other lands about this amazing staff that I have that can change the world. I got to share this information with people. So he leaves his home, he dons his traveling garb, And he starts to set forth. Now he's in front of his house. He says, I need to share the power of this staff with everybody. The power of this staff is amazing, and I need to be prepared for anything. So he dons on his armor, and he takes everything he needs. And he thinks to himself, all right, I got to figure out how to get across this body of water, because I know the people over there will really want to see the wonders that my staff can do, and how I am able to create my reality based on my will and my fire and my determination. So he sets off and he finds a way to cross that body of water there. And on the other shore, he's greeted with a nice welcome. These women are in the middle of a celebration. It looks as though he has walked right into some ceremony or graduation party, and they welcome him with open arms. They say, weary traveler, come to our islands. We want you to come and celebrate with us. Come and share in our festivities and share in our joy. Come tell us, weary traveler, of where you've come and how far you've come. And he's excited, so he says, yes, I'm going to come here. I'm going to create this new foundation with these wonderful people, because I have amazing things to share with them about the magics of this staff that was gifted to me. So he starts talking with them about, look at this amazing staff I have, and look at the powers of will I am able to conjure from this staff right here. And the other people in the party and the men start to look at this stranger, and they think, who are you telling us what this thing can do? You don't know anything. You don't know our ways here. You've just come from some far off land telling us that this thing can do magic, but we don't believe in that kind of thing. We believe in toil and hard work and making all of our dreams come true, and this is the way we believe. And so they all go in it and go at it, and they talk to each other, and this one says, no, I believe that things can come effortlessly to you, and they can be amazing. And this other person says, well, our ancestors have taught us this, and you're wrong, and well, I could be right, and it depends, they go back and forth, and it goes from being very civil to not so civil, and then back to civil again. It really depends on the situation. But there's challenge here, and there's adversity, and he's talking with them, and he's like, actually, guys, you all have the power to have this amazing staff. And they don't believe him, of course. They're like, our staff doesn't do anything that yours does. And then he says, let me show you. I can help you. Let me show you I can bring great things to this land. And he talks to them, and he finds a nice medium ground. And he says, I will listen to all of your needs, and I will be a great leader for this land here, and I will use this gift of the stave to help this land prosper. So they agree, and they're like, yeah, okay, let's try it out. And he's successful. And he says, yay, I have this victory. It's a small victory. I've just begun. I have to put in the work still, but it's a victory. And they're on the side, and they're walking with them, and they're saying, yeah, your magic stuff is amazing. It's going to create wonders in this world with your wonderful intent. And so he goes on that way, and he has his victory. But then people see his victory, and they're like, whoa, wait a minute, I don't know. How are you going to lead us to anything? You just came here, and you just came through these lands, and we haven't really seen any of your work yet. How do you know that I'm not any better than you? And there was a bunch of people that could think that they could do better, or they were trying to poke at him and say, you're doing this wrong, and you're not doing this good enough. And he's like, hold on a minute. I'm going to listen to all of you. All of your concerns are valid. And he's trying to get himself composed, but he's all miscombobulated, and his hair's all messy, and you can't see it here, but he's missing a shoe, and he's really just trying to get his position, his standpoint again, get his firm ground again. So this is his test of faith, where he has to be like, no, I came here to show you guys something, and it's truly magical, and it's truly amazing, and I want to share it with you. And so he says to them, I will hear all of your passions, all of your desires, and I will do something with it so that all of you are heard and all of you are able to get what you want. So that makes them very happy, and they say yes, and they happily give them all give him all their staves. They give him all their staves. Okay, these are our concerns, these are our passions, these are our wishes. Can you make this happen? And like a true artist with great aim, he takes all of those 8 staves and he hurtles them towards his bullseye on the opposing hill, because he knows that if he has his directed energy and his intention in one direction, that he is going to come out on top. But what he finds when he starts to go pick up those wands is that, you know, this person really thinks there needs to be, you know, world peace, and this person really thinks that there needs to be better care with the animals, and this person wants there to be, you know, a waterway so they can collect water where they're living at, and this person, you know, and he is like, okay, I promised to them that I was going to hear their will, and that I was going to help their will happen, and that I was going to make this happen, so I'm just going to be true to my word and keep going on this. But he ends up getting really worn down and tired, and he ends up saying, you know what, I don't want to see any more people right now, because I'm already killing myself upholding all of these values and beliefs from everybody else, and including my own, and I'm just gonna stay here right now and survive the next day or two, because it's taking all of my will to appease all these other wills. Until one day he realizes, I can't keep doing that. I have got to put some of these other wills and burdens down. So he goes on another trek. He goes to faraway lands. You can see the faraway lands are not his hometown with the pyramids in the background. But he has changed. He has changed from this person who is always giving himself up for other people in an attempt to help or soothe or, just really ease somebody else. He came into his own power and realized, no, this isn't about holding everybody else's staves up and wands up. This is about me and my own passions and desires, and how I can make this really happen in the world. And I got to tell the king about this, because this is really amazing. It's yes, it's about helping other people, but I need to help myself first so that I can be the best helper to other people. So he goes on a long trek and a long journey, and he's gone through a period of renewal as he has these lizards on his shirt, and it signifies a cycle and a shedding of old skin. He's still just starting because he's the page. But he's willing now to take a little bit of a different approach, knowing that he doesn't have to carry the burdens of everybody else. He can carry what is true for him in his heart. So he carries this to the king and queen to tell them about this amazing wand he has, that has conjured up within him this magical power to manifest anything in the kingdom that anybody could want. So he's got this wand on his horse, and he's got great passion and will and desire, and he found a way from walking to a horse, and he started to make great progression. Now when he found the queen, she was ready for him, and she knew about the staff. She's been presented with a very similar staff herself. She'd gone down that trek and journey of sacrificing herself for everybody else. She realized that she needed to find her own roots within herself before she would ever be able to give to anybody else. She's found her lightness and she's found her darkness through this. And she sits there as he tells her about the amazing powers of this staff. It's so amazing. It can change worlds. And she smiles her knowing grin with her smirk on her face, and she listens, and she's quiet, and she is grounded in her power. And she smiles and she says, "Oh my, what an adventure you've been on. I think you need to go talk to the king," because she knows her own story on what happened, and she knows what her husband's going to say. So he goes on to the king, says, "Thank you, queen." He goes on to the king And the king, having gone through his exact journey before, says to him, "What have you come forth with, child? What are you so excited about?" And he says, "Oh my king, I can't even begin to tell you. This staff I have is so magical. It's more magical than all of the staves in the kingdom." And the king laughs. And he says, "Well, that might be so. I guess one could never know." And the knight says, "What do you mean?" He says, "Because the staff you have, it's a staff that's been gifted to everybody. Everybody has that staff of willpower and passion, and it's what you decide to do with it that matters. What are you going to do with that passion? That passion and that will does not reside in anything external. That passion and that will resides only within you. If you have given powers to the staff, it is only because you believed in them so. You have the magic and the power to create your dreams with or without that staff. The staff is only a front to what is deep in your heart." So the king talked to him about his staff, and the knight was completely floored. He never thought that it could be coming from within. He had always thought it was something external. It was something that powerful source energy was external. It couldn't have been within him. It must have been in something or someone else. But the king, in his gloriousness and his calm demeanor, his calm power, said, "That will and that passion is a gift to you from source, but it does not reside in that staff. It resides within your heart. You must burn that flame in your heart with pure intentions. You will arrive to where you were meant to be." So that is my story of the wands. I know it was goofy, and I know that it probably didn't really line up with a whole bunch of what you've been taught, but I really love the progression of the story of this. To me, it really speaks to that project that you're doing, and you're going out, and if you are doing a reading, say, and you get this one in reverse, maybe you need to go back to this one, or so forth. But I had fun with this. Let me know how you liked it. Like I said, it's just a fun little trial. And let me know what you think. Maybe share with me what your stories are, or what ideas you have for the pentacles, the swords, and the cups. But until we see each other again next time, people, peace.